Hi, and welcome back to That's So Nova. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Shova, aka Nova, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial for a brand new bag that's coming out. It's called the Tabitha Hobo Bag, and it's a pretty cool bag. It's from Clutch Couture Design, Jacqueline, and I have the honor to make a tutorial for it. I did make one bag already, but we're going to be making a different one. This bag is a very beginner friendly I'm sorry, I can't hold it. It's a beginner friendly hobo bag, and especially if you're trying to get into vinyl or leather, this is a perfect bag to do. This bag is cross stitch. I forgot the name of the leather. I will put it down. I don't want to say the wrong thing, so I'm gonna look it up and then tell you in the comments. I used leather with rose gold hardware. It has magnetic closure. There is a slip pocket in here. It's hard to see, I apologize. There's a slip pocket in here, a slip pocket in here, and a zipper pocket. And there is a magnetic closure. This thing keeps knocking. It's beautiful, but it does knock. And then there's a magnetic closure in the front. Very simplistic bag. There's a million things you can do with this bag. So this is my sophisticated, fun one. Sophisticated and sassy one. Today we're going to have a fun one. I was thinking long and hard on what I can do for this bag to convey a little bit of my own personal personality, and we're going to be doing this bag in faux fur. So with this bag, I really would like people to open up and create something they haven't made before. It will look good in vinyl, leather, cork, craft text. I've seen a lot of cool craft text lately. Cotton, waterproof canvas, wax canvas, oilskin. There's so many different lines of materials that you can use to help make this bag and have fun with hardware or decorative stitching. This bag is the perfect bag to do it. It's simplistic, fun, has a unique shape, has a gorgeous flap, and it's like a perfect ready to go bag, and I feel like it's a great spring bag. So we're going to get started. And this is going to be a very fun, fast tutorial. So one of the first things you want to make sure you do is when you have this hobo bag pattern out, you want to definitely make sure that you have your marking tools and the pattern pieces. The pattern pieces have all the keys to make sure that you put the magnetic snaps in the right places, or your zipper placement, or your zipper facing, all the details in the back. So as I go through this, make sure you, one, have a marking tool, two, have your pattern pieces with you, and you're ready to go. There's not a lot of pieces. Oh, and a ruler. Let's go. All right, so my mistake will hopefully help you out, but my mistake got turned into a really cool modification. Like I said, there's not a lot of pattern pieces. We're going to have the back and the flap of the bag. Now, I messed up, okay? In the pattern piece, there's a part that you cut out. You only cut it out on the interior piece. I accidentally did it on my exterior. First, I said some not so nice words, and then I was like, how can I fix this? Because I'm a person that, yes, I could scrap this and use this for other things, but I was determined to save it. So instead, I just put a back zipper, because the flap is going to go like this, and I'll just have like a really cool back zipper. This is not a part of the pattern. I made an accident, and I corrected it. You're always going to have a chance to correct your mistakes, and a mistake can actually turn into something grand and something new and something fun. So I made a mistake. Don't make the same one I did if you don't want it. If you do, then it's fun. I marked the pattern piece, all the pattern pieces from where Jacqueline had, and then I'm going to take my pattern piece and I'm going to mark my centers, because that is very important. I'm going to do it in this I thought this pink. Okay, it's working. Or the orange that I just did. I'm using fabrics that you can't iron. I did test iron it when I put this sew fuse on the back because there was a little bit of stretch. It worked out though. I had to do it really fast and I used my heating press. But yes, we're doing this interesting fun print. So have your pattern pieces. This is the back. My front, I decided to go black. I like the contrasting color. And then my interior is going to be this beautiful waterproof canvas, but it's like in this, I don't know, it's like a, no, it's like a, almost a, like a bronzy, maybe? I'm not too sure. I got it from Fabric Warehouse Direct, and I noticed that they said it was a new color, and I really like the color. So, I got my pattern pieces over here, and let's get started. So there's a table of contents on page 2. We're going to be using a 1/4 inch seam allowance with a 1/8 of an inch top stitch. We're going to sew, I apologize. We're going to start sewing the handle. I'm going to have some fun with this handle. I'm going to be using some interesting hardware. And hopefully, by me using this hardware, it will open you guys up to trying more and different hardware. I decided I'm going to make the handle the same color as the front of the bag, the black faux fur. I've never made a faux fur handle before, so this is going to be super interesting. I wanted to try something new for 2022. I put my double-sided tape on my handle, and I'm going to put this down the middle. I'm just folding over on the double-sided tape that's really sticky. This double-sided tape I got from wawak. It always takes off my nail polish. And I don't know how to feel about that, because I'm like, is my nail polish protecting my nails? Because this could be taken off a layer. I'm going to leave like a 1 16th or a 1/8 inch gap in between, so that way it can fold over easily. If your machine doesn't like double-sided tape, you can use glue and then just let it stay, like let it sit, and then clip it. And I'm just popping some clips in here, making sure that all the folds are folded over perfectly. There's not like one side there's like uneven. You don't want that. As you can see, I have an array of different clips. I feel like I'm a collector of them now. And we're going to top stitch just at 1/8 of an inch on both sides. I'm going to use a stitch length of 3.5, and this is pretty thick because it's like a kind of like a faux fur. I got it. I'll put all the information on where I purchased my leather and the faux fur fabric. And make sure you backstitch. This fabric here is really dense, so I'm going to take my time and top stitch to make sure it all gets nice and sewed. We got sewed together. Take your time. Feel the rhythm of your machine. I'm intrigued by this because it has a low pile, so the stitches are going right in to the they're blending in right with the fur, so it's really hard to see the thread. Like, I think even if you were using contrasting thread, it'll be very hard to see because the pile is so low. is so dense. Okay, and I'm going to bring this to the other side. I'm using a 40 weight thread that I got from wawak. It's Saba thread. Let's see. There's one side that I did not catch it. I'm just going to go and redo it. With this, I'm kind of lucky because the pile is so dense that I can go over it and there will be like no holes. That's if you're using vinyl, please take your time and top stitch at your own pace, at your own leisure. Enjoy it. Get into the rhythm of it. So this is going to be the strap. It's going to be a shoulder strap. And then we are going to we're going to stitch down our strap pieces, not our handle connectors and the front accent piece. I am using marine vinyl as a contrast. I know that you're seeing a lot of faux fur, but I wanted some kind of contrast and make sure that there was like a nice durability, so that way when the bag is worn, it's like it's going to stay. It's not. I haven't tested faux fur in durability testing, so clip a couple clips on here. Clip a lot or clip a little, but I usually clip a lot. I feel like you can never have too many clips. Okay. I'm at a 3.5. I'm stitching at 1/8 of an inch. If you're using vinyl and your machine's kind of like giving you a hard time, maybe change to a Teflon foot or a walking foot. I'm using a denim needle. It's 110, I believe. No, it's 100. I get my needles from wawak or Amazon, whatever usually has a good deal or whatever comes faster. I'm really lucky because I live in Maryland and wawak's in Pennsylvania, so I get it actually faster than Amazon would give it to me. Like if I order tonight, they'll mail it out tomorrow, and it'll sometimes come the same day or the next because they're in Philadelphia. So I'm really lucky with that. All right. So we're going to put all the markings on the bag like we talked about, and then we're going to grab our exterior pieces and we are going to start putting some stuff together. We're going to, let me grab this. As you can see, there's a mark for the magnetic magnetic snap that we're going to put in here. And I have my hardware all in a box. Woohoo! I'm going to be using antique brass. Apparently I just like Hulk out and rip things. Gonna put this one here. Grab my little washers. Grab two. And then what I do is I take my washer. First you could triple check with your pattern piece. if you marked it right. And I did. So I'm going to put a mark and make a slit with the this is a precise cutter. I got it from Amazon. I believe it costs like $7. You can use a pair of really sharp scissors, what have you, whatever you have on hand. I'm going to grab some glue because I don't want this to fray and I'm not too sure how it's going to act. This is E600 glue, and or you use spray check, whatever you have on hand is easiest. I'm going to put the female part of this inside the bag. And maneuver this where the washer, where I can put the washer. And the prongs I push out. And I will stick a piece of duct tape on here so that way there won't be friction when the exterior and the interior are together. All right, so we have our little belly button. And then we're going to take this and we are going to mark where we're going to put the decorating connector. So let me get I'm marking out the mount, and you can sew this on. I'm going to put a rivet because I'm using really thick vinyl. I'm using marine vinyl, but yeah. I actually should have went thinner. Okay. I'm going to get some double-sided tape. Or I might do a thinner because I don't want it. It feels really bulky. Let's see. One moment. That's why you always have vinyl around. Like I said, I hope you're following this because then you can see my mistakes and not make them. I'm taking the measurements and then I'm just cutting them out. I'm gonna definitely rivet it, but I can sew it a little bit in place too without flinging material all over the place. Okay. I'm taking my circle and I'm putting it on one side. Man, this tape is sticky. Okay. See, it's just a little bit more flatter. I'm going to put some more double-sided tape on the back. And then I'm going to put this, where I put the mark, I'm going to put the piece right there, and I'm going to sew it on, and then I'm going to stick also a ribbon on it. I'm using a narrow foot, so I can get away with getting really close to where the hardware is without actually having a hump jumper. What I'm going to do on this, I'm going to go back and forth, and then I'm going to move this, just pulling it over and go back and forth on the top, and I'm going to put a rivet in the middle so I don't have to do the X, the little X or box. I'm just doing it a little bit different. Okay, so I'm hoping that when you're seeing my mistakes and me correcting them, that this is something that you can do. Because I see sometimes in posts where people, there's something that happens and they're like really heartbroken and it happens and I feel their pain. Sometimes when we have lemons, we just have to make lemonade and you can just adjust things to fit your purpose and it might come out just like super beautiful and something super unique. I'm going to punch a hole right in the center. I'm going to grab a rivet, a medium-sized rivet, and I usually get my rivets from Emmeline. Her hardware is just amazing, and her rivets are just spectacular. And I really feel like when I make something that it is safe and secure, if that makes sense. And let me set this rivet real quick. Press I got from Minkus and Margot. They're an Etsy shop, and they have really cool videos on YouTube and have a lot of different presses, and they just really explain everything. I just love them. So we have this really cool feature. I'm really loving how this bag's coming out. I'm going to put the metal piece aside. All right, and then we're going to put the exterior and lining together. I mean the exterior pieces together. So I'm going to find my centers, match them up. Put some clips because we want to make sure that all pieces are lined up together. Nothing shifts. This is the time where you go clip happy. And it's okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to position everything. We are on page 9. We're just putting the pieces right sides together and clipping. And trying to remove loose threads, apparently. Okay, so we're going to start with 1/4 of an inch. See, we're going to start at the top with 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. I'm still at 3.5 stitch length. I might actually just turn it to a 3. Because I don't know, I haven't worked with this fabric before, so I just want to make sure that the stitching is nice and secure. If it's like the faux furs that I use when you make clothing, then you could probably go a little further if you wish. Like a 3.5. Making sure I caught everything. So like I'm just sticking my hand inside the bag and going through and making sure before we start clipping, because you don't want to like have like a little hole or something, and when you turn the bag right side out, you're like devastated. So you're gonna do some, you're gonna clip around the curve, like little notches, like you can cut out some, like just little V's, and it'll help ease the bag. If you're using thicker fabric like I am, you also can grab a pair of pinking shears, and it just helps lay the fabric down really nice. Make sure you do not cut into your seam allowance. Now, if you accidentally hit a stitch, what you could do is go back over that area that you accidentally hit, go like 1/8 of an inch above, and just go all the way around, and your bag will be just like 1/8 of an inch smaller. But it is fixable just in case you do it. But just be careful. You totally got this. I like pinking shears because it does help reduce the bulk. And just like when we turn this right side out, like the fabric is not just bulky on one side, it kind of just spreads out. I'm using Kai pinky shears, but I also use like this cheaper one that I got on Amazon. I'm not gonna lie to you, the Kai ones are pretty good. I was introduced to them by Dalva. If you're in the sewing community, then you're probably aware who she is. She's very active and she's very kind and sweet in the sewing community. She informed me about these, and I saved up and I bought them, and they were a little on the pricey side because I usually like cheaper scissors because I can just dump them and then be okay with getting the new pair. But so far I've had these almost for a year now, and I really love them. Like, really love them. But I'm always looking for different scissors and whatnot. So you're gonna turn the bag right sides out. It won't be that difficult if you're using cork or leather. This is a unique bag. I'm gonna stick my hand in that. This is gonna be cute. All right. Oh man, I forgot to put my name tag. All right, hold on, because she does inform where to do it. I like highlight things when I forget. No, she said it. I believe it was in the very beginning. We put the magnet. Yes. She placed it 2 inches above. I could still fix this and put my name tag in here. Again, I'm just full of mistakes today. So I'm just gonna turn this back out and do my markings because it's gonna be hard to mark on the black. I'm also gonna go over this area because I think I hit. I just want to put another row of stitching because I'm new to this fabric. But you gotta try things, right? All right, so 2 inches above. Grab my name tag, my little logo. Okay. We're going to start calling my channel Mistake Nova. Okay, you're going to punch holes not through your hand. I'm going to put this with some glue. It keeps just like squirting out like that. That's super weird. And it's iridescent. I don't know why. It intrigues me, but I'm going to make sure my tag is right sides up, and then I'm going to find the holes, which that came easy. Okay. Push down the prongs. I'm really excited that I was able to fix that beforehand because I have made plenty of bags where I'm like, oh man, I forgot my logo. Duct tape. Turn this right side out. Go back to the regular program. Okay. Man, I'm getting a hand workout. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. I'll be right back. Okay. So we are going to do the strap connectors. I am going to do, I think I'm going to rivet them in place because the strap connectors are 1 inch down from the center. Let's see. I will. I think I'm going to take the connectors and sew 1/8 of an inch down both sides. And then rivet them into place. I mean, you know what? I'll sew them in place just for teaching. Okay. And I'm just cutting them in piece. Alright, get my hardware. We're going to have fun hardware today. I promise you all the mistakes will turn into something fantastic. We're going to mark 1 inch down. I keep dropping everything. It's cool. It's cool. I'm going to use a chalk pen and just draw a little white line. Chalk pencil. This is a sew line pencil. Alright. I'm going to take double-sided tape. Stick a piece in the middle. Take my hardware, which I got from Line Bags. Oops. Tape is sticky. And fold it onto itself. So we have both those. Get another 2 pieces of double-sided tape. And I'm going to put it on the back. Alright. So I'm going to you could make a box, or I think I'm going to do the same thing as I did before. I think I'm going to do tack it down on the top, tack it down on the, tack it, go back and forth on the top as close as I can, and do it on the sides, and then put a rivet in the center to help keep it stable. Or I could do a box too. Let's see. Putting the hardware, I'm matching it to the 1 inch mark. I'm going to squish my bag so that way it's not in the way of the, it won't get sewed on. It's kind of important. So it's okay. We're going to get squishy with our bags. I know it's an awkward push your bag down moment. Fold your tail threads. Thread tails. Okay, and I'm going to put another backing down below. Okay, pull my threads out. Trim my threads. Okay, then I'm going to do it on the other side. Then we're going to put some rivets, and then we move on to the interior. Okay. I'm going to move everything out of the way and repeat what I did. I like this narrow foot. I mean, it's better to work with this foot right here, the foot that I came with, like compression foot, because it balances it more. But the narrow foot gets so close to the hardware, so it doesn't shift and move. And I'm just gonna move to the end. Make sure that my fabric's out of the way so I'm not sewing or I have to remove stitches and then be upset at myself for getting that close. Okay. Removing threads. Okay. Then I'm going to grab my hole punch and I'm going to do a rivet for extra stability. I'm going to do two. I'm eyeballing it. You can measure it out. Okay. Grab some rivets. I'm using the medium-sized ones again because this is kind of thick. And I'm going through 4 layers also of vinyl, so it's the rivet heads are flush with the fabric and they're not protruding out, so it's going to fit perfectly. Jacqueline made a really good this pattern is really good and a really fun pattern. Like I said, I've said before, but I'll always say it, designers give you the blueprints to your creativity. Like they give you a pattern and it's up to you to have it designed the way you want from the hardware you choose to the fabrics. It makes it special and unique. So take these blueprints and just have fun. I'm using faux fur. What if, like, it will look really cool because like Uggs has a all fur, like fuzzy fur, like bag. Imagine doing that with a nice minky, or have fun with it. And like there's no wrong or right fabrics or hardware choices or non-hardware. All right, we got these all squared away and they look pretty cool. Like this looks super cool. I'm really excited about this. All right, so we're going to go on, we're almost done. We're done with our exterior. So let's start with the interior. We have to put markings where the magnetic snap is going to go. And I'm doing the magnetic snap for both for the exterior and the interior. I thought, I don't know, I like when there's an opportunity just to go make a magnetic snap, I usually do go for it. It's fun and it's easy to do. And most people, I don't know about you, but most people I know only zip up the zipper if they're going like to an actual busy place or their commuter. Most of the time I see people with just their zippers just wide open. So it's, again, personal preference. And what I'm going to do is grab a piece of fabric and poke holes in this just so it could be stable. And this is waterproof canvas and it's really thick, but I like to make sure that my pieces have extra stability in the back. Extra, like, I don't know, something to reinforce it. I do that. It's just something I do. I hate when, like, I see people post that saying, like, my rivet or magnetic pulled out, and reinforcements can really make a big difference on a bag. So we have that one. And we're going to put another magnet here, like right up here too. We're going to grab the Mel. Man, her magnets just totally stick. You could put glue where you poke the holes, but this I'm using waterproof canvas, so there is not really that much hole. It won't like fray. Just gonna poke holes in this real quick. Be careful, don't cut yourself. Put the washer on, and then we're going to let's do the zipper facing. I just like when I put on one magnetic snap, I kind of want to put the other because I don't know about you, but somehow, some way, during the process of putting on a magnetic strap, magnetic snap, I always seem to lose one of them or a washer. So it just helps me personally when I put both of them on. We're going to get the zipper facing. And we're going to match it up. So I'm going to grab some double-sided tape. The fur is everywhere now. And I'm putting this on the top. If your machine doesn't like double-sided tape, you can use glue. I use a Beacon 3-in-1 glue for everything. I should have stock in it by now. Just finger press that. And match. If it doesn't match, you can cut and figure it out like I'm about to do right now. All right. So we're going to we attach that. We put the overlay on, and we're going to stitch around in here, top stitch it at 1/8 of an inch around. For the overlay, cork, vinyl, leather, something that's non-fraying would be the best, because if you use cotton, you need to do a lot of folding over and making sure all the raw edges are just in case. It's not hard to do. It's something definitely you can do if you want. It just is a little bit easier with vinyl or leather or cork. And when you stop to pivot, make sure that your needle's in the needle down position. Okay. And I'm going to threads. All right. We're going to grab our zipper pocket. We are going to sew down one side, which I already did one side, out 1/8 of an inch, and then I'm going to show you how to do the other. You're going to take this and you're going to fold this where the zipper, the right side of the zipper is facing you, the wrong side of the zipper is facing the fabric. We're going to pop some clips to make sure that everything stays in line and nothing shifts. And we're going to just base this down at 1/8 of an inch. Okay. Trim my threads and grab some double-sided tape. Again, you don't have to use double-sided tape. You can use glue. If you're using cotton, you can use pins. Whatever's easier for you. Sew tights, the magnets. Use that. All right, so I'm going to grab my zipper head. I usually don't put the zipper head on until I'm done with the first row. We're gonna put the first one in, and then when we go around the whole entire box, when we go around the top, I usually put the zipper in so that way it doesn't interfere with my stitching. But when you're using the zipper foot, it can just go in because it won't interfere. It's a smaller foot, so you don't have to really move your zipper head. So I'm installing the zipper. I'm trying to make sure everything lines up, and then I kind of just push down. You can feel it click. I like to put my finger down, and then I just pull the zipper in. You have to figure out which direction you want your zipper to go. I like to have my zipper closed towards the left. I'm just going to start aligning. The one thing there's a lot of things I love about double-sided tape, but one of the great things is that you can readjust and keep adjusting. Just adjust. Till it's to what you like. Take as much time as you want. We're going to, now we're on page 13, we're going to sew the first part, the short ends. We're going to go on this short part. Okay. What I like to do is I like to draw and chalk like where the 1/4 of where I want the machine, where I want it to kind of start and begin. With chalk or a tandy leather pin. Just a little line so that way I know where Saba begin. I'm putting the pocket facing away from me, and we're going to sew the bottom first. My machine is squeaking with the leather. Okay. And I back stitched before the beginning and end. I'm going to flip this down. Now we're going to do the tops. This is going the same direction as the bag now. We're doing about 1/8 of an inch away from the pocket. Let's see. Thread. Having the needle down. I want to go with one more up. See. My machine is super squeaky with this vinyl. Okay, needle down, pivot. Let's see. All right. So on page 14, we are going to sew down the sides and make sure we backstitch really. We're going to sew down the sides. But before we sew down the sides, we're going to, my machine, it's just like everything's flying out. We're going to cut this center. Because we're going to turn the pot, we're going to use this to help turn the bag. We're going to have a turn hole inside the lining, but we're also going to be able to pull the lining out from the pocket so that I can have a seamless effect. I like to just put clips. We're going to sew down the sides now. And I know you're like, hey, why did we just have two separate pieces? This actually makes sure that your the top and the bottom are just more even. It's a good trick and tip that Jacqueline has made in this bag. Let's see. I like to backstitch really well over those because those turn areas are very crucial for us. And then I'm going to go down this side. We're just going like 1/4 of an inch in. Okay. And we already put the magnet there. If you're going to do the zipper, it's going to be on page 15. If you're going to do the zipper, if you want to do a slip pocket, that's an optional choice too. I'm not going to do a slip pocket on this one. But the steps are in there. They're optional. I like this bag because it's like create your own. Like this could be a zipper and an enclosed, or you can have magnetic snaps, or you can have the zipper pocket and a slip pocket. It's all your choice. So we're gonna put the interior pieces together, but I need to put the magnetic snap on this side real quickly. Making a mark. And sure enough, I think one of my washer heads disappeared. Every time. This is why I have an extra bag of just washer heads. Every single time. Like, I promise you. It just like, poof. Make sure it's centered. It is. I always have extra washer heads, extra screws, kind of extra everything. Because you never know. Oh, there it is. You never know if you misplace something that your project is not. Okay. And when we sew this together, we're going to be leaving a 6-inch gap. Grabbing some not the side tape, but duct tape. All right. So when we sew this together, we're going to leave a 6-inch gap at the bottom. So you can just grab a ruler and make your marks. I did an inch top. We're going to match everything up. With the lining, we're going to start at the 1/4 of an inch. We're going to start at the 1/4 of an inch. And the 5 or 6 inch opening. Let's see. I apologize. My phone is not on vibrate. Better yet, my husband's phone is not on vibrate. Okay, so we're going to go 1/4 of an inch all the way around, and we're going to back stitch really well where we make the mark, so when we turn this bag, that it doesn't like rip or tear. So just like make sure you clip everything so nothing shifts. So what you're going to do, we're going to start 1/4 of an inch on the top, and then we're going to increase to a 1/2 inch and go back to 1/4 of an inch on this side so that it can have a nice tight lining. All right. So we're going to start at 1/4 of an inch. And about an inch down, we're going to go to 1 inch. Back stitch beginning really well at the beginning and end. Increasing your stitch length when we go further down helps because it just, you don't want like your lining to be baggy. So I'm at the chalk mark. I'm going to back stitch really well. And then I'm going to lift up my needle and just go over to the other side. And I'll trim my threads when I'm done. We're going to start at the 1/2 inch, back stitch really well. Okay, so we're going to start kind of tapering our seam to go to 1/4 of an inch. All right. Trim our threads and then just go around on this side and just trim these little threads. It just helps with like jumping threads. So we have everything. So we go on page 16 and we're going to put the lining into with the interior. So the exterior of this bag is going to go we're going to do things right sides together. Okay, so we're going to put right sides together. You're going to put the right side of your exterior to the right side of your interior and have it in this little bag. And we are going to sew 1/4 of an inch all the way around, and then we're going to snip into our seam allowances really carefully to make sure the curve can show out before we top stitch it. I like to start in a corner. There's going to be a lot of bag smishing, okay? So 1/4 of an inch is our seam allowance. Make sure that you have your bag clipped very well. I did not hold my thread, so my thread just popped out. It's kind of like do as I say, not as I do scenario. Okay. We're going to see. All right, I'm going to squish my bag and I'm going to do the 1/4 of this inch seam allowance. Fold my tails. Make sure you back stitch really well in the beginning and the end. If you need to use like a stiletto or a purple thing, whatever can help you to achieve your goal, use it. Have your needle down when you're pivoting. It's an awkward shape, and you're gonna have to get really comfortable with your machine. Let me back stitch because some of my clips came out and there's some shifting. I want to make sure everything got caught, and it didn't. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to clip this and go to the edge here of where before I was going to tell you I do 2 separate parts because I was not able to do it in one. Flip it real good. Smush my bag underneath there. Hold my threads, back stitch the beginning end. Okay, and then I'm going to start stitching. I find it easier to go through the interior of the bag around the front button. I'm going to adjust my clips to make sure that the bulk is evenly spread out. You're gonna have to, I'm maneuvering the bag. I hate when something shifts on me, so I try to clip as best as I possibly can. And as I'm sewing, I'm shifting all the fabric to make sure raw edges are touching. Kind of doing it in sections. All right. So again, I'm gonna grab my pinking shears just so I can get help reduce the bulk as much as I can. So when I'm top stitching, it won't be as difficult because the bulk will be more evenly distributed, and I try to reduce as much as I can. You can use your regular scissors. This is like one of my favorite tools to use. Just don't try to cut it into your stitches. If you do, again, just sew right above it, like 1/16 of an inch. I have done it. I think everyone has. And it's okay. Okay. I'm going to go in here. Actually, I can use. You take your time. We're going to birth the bag next and go over and check all your stitches and make sure that everything's caught in the seam. Both pieces are caught and there's not like a little hole. This is the time to correct anything. And once everything is all squared away, and we are going to birth it. We have this hole right here, and we're just going to take our exterior, and I kind of just move the bag around and just pull on the lining, gently tugging it. And then I just push out. I'm going to take my time. Because of the unique shape, you just have to kind of reach in. And then I'm going to grab like a blunt tool. You can use a herringbone or bookbinder, something that's just blunt. I'm using a chopstick. I'm kind of just pushing out those unique corners. Okay. I'm just putting my tool around the seam so I could poke it out a little better if I have to. Okay. And I'm going to put this lining part inside. Just to see, make sure all the magnetic snaps line up. Everything like that you want to check before you close the hole, like the lining hole. I'm just getting all the loose threads too. There's like a lot of loose threads. All right, that's poking your hand, and I'm gonna just flatten this real quick. I could probably poke out this corner a little bit more, but the bag is looking pretty dope. I'm gonna poke out this corner before get this thread. Oh, that's it. It's like bunched up over here. Get this. Yep, it's coming out but more. Okay. All right, so the top stitching of this, I turn the bag right sides out. I know you're like, hey, we're turning this bag out a whole lot, but I wanted to make sure, everything's falling with me. I wanted to make sure that my top stitching was on point, and with the flatbed machine, you can't turn, like, you don't have a free arm like you do with the domestic. So my trick is I turn the bag inside out real quick so I can top stitch the best I possibly can. So I take this in sections. I start with the flap and I go all the way around, and then I will turn this right sides out again and then do this other side. If you have a flatbed. If you have a domestic, you could just move your free arm to your free arm and you're good to go. I'm going to top stitch at a 3.5. And you can put clips around if you wish, but this fabric is like, it automatically, the lining's going underneath, so I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm kind of digging the faux fur a little bit. It's winter, it's a nice look, and I think it kind of can cover up some stitches, like if you're having like a bad stitch day. Take your time. It's like the fabric, I think because the fur is so much heavier than the waterproof canvas, the canvas automatically rolls under and the faux fur rolls over it. So that makes top stitching way easier. I'm glad I'm getting to teach with this material. I love working with new materials. At first, I make a lot of mistakes, but the only way I learn is by falling. It's like that whole toddler thing. You have to, fall to learn how to walk and crawl, and it's just part of human nature. All right, so I'm gonna, ouch, let's see. All right, and then I'm gonna turn this back, right sides out. Luckily, this is not like a lot of fabric, because I know that can get annoying to turn things inside and out, but it helps. Now I'm going to top stitch. Let's see. Now I'm going to top stitch from this point to this point. I'm just tugging it to get the lining really curled down right. Putting some clips as I go. And I'm going to smush this. That's the best way I can explain it to you. I'm going to smush the heck out of this. And then we're just going to do some cool things to this bag. We're going to add the shoulder. And I'm back stitching a couple stitches to lock in the stitches. 1/8 of an inch. Just take your time. This is not a race. This is everything at your own pace. Hi, Dr. Cece again. I'm just maneuvering the bag, smushing it when it needs to be. And then I back stitch. I'm cutting all the threads. Yeah, I'm excited. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take the zipper, open it up, and I'm going to pull the zipper out. Not the zipper, but the zipper pocket out, and then I'm going to pull the lining. And before I do that, I'm going to make sure that everything wants to fall. I'm going to make sure that everything is like poked out really well. I'm going to do that after I close this up because I can just do it through the pocket. Make sure you do it at a 1/2 inch. Closing up. Okay, back stitch. And I cut threads, and you can do a little trimming now of that. So the bulk, again, just the bulk. Okay, and as I'm doing this lining, I'm just going to stick a tool, like a chopstick, through, creasing it around the seam to just make sure everything pokes out. Put the lining in, and we're going to close up the pocket, and this bag is done. We're just going to do some cool funky things with a shoulder strap. I like to cut at an angle where the seam is, where the little bulk is, so that way when I clip this down, it's not poking out. For some reason, it always does that to me. I don't know why. Stitch this down at 1/8 of an inch. This would be a really good place to put like a cloth or a woven bag tag sticking out. I have some. I got some from Dutch Labels, and I really like them. I put them in a lot of my pouches. Okay, and then we're gonna take this pocket, stick it in here. And I just try to make sure I push down the pocket all the way. Poke the corners out as much as I can. Zip up that pocket. We have our little magnetic snap, our little accent pieces. This is okay. So let's get this ball going. I've never tried a shoulder strap like this, so this should be fun. I am going to stick some hardware on here. Get the little screws. These are just strap ends, and I just wanted to put it on the ends of this so there's like no raw edges exposed. Okay, and then I'm going to put the other one in. I just try to keep the strap straight as possible. So you want both ends that you're screwing in to be on the same side. Trust me, I have made that mistake numerous times. And then I'll be mad at myself later when you have to unscrew it and do all that. This is kind of thicker material, but I'm squishing it in there as best as I can. You just screw these in. When the screws want to cooperate, okay, and one more screw in. And you could put some Loctite or Gorilla Glue or Fray Check inside the screws so that they don't shift afterwards. So I'm going to stick this through here. And get my hole punch. I'm going to measure 1 inch on both sides to make sure it's even as possible. 1 inch from the strap in. I'm using just a white chalk marker. Find my 1 inch mark, and then I'm going to we're going to put a rivet here. I'm hoping the medium fits, because if it doesn't, I have to get the large. It's not a problem. It's just I didn't think about how thick this fabric was. One side. We're going to do it on the other. My 1 inch mark. Okay. The rivet in. And then I'm going to set both rivets, and then we're done. We have like a really cute feature. One. This is cute. And then we want to act extra snazzy. Everything wants to cooperate with me, then it'll be all good. All right, let me see. Oh yeah, this is cute. So we have a really cute bag. Okay, so we have, without the thing, we have a beautiful feature here, and you could put a tassel on here. I didn't have that tassel clip, so I just have the circle, but I can add one later if I want. When you open it up, you have a nice zipper pocket, nice roomy area, and a magnetic snap closure. And another closure, so your stuff is extra secure. Now, let's talk about my happy accidents. So I accidentally cut out the interior piece for the pocket and I made a zipper. This is a great modification because you can stick a phone in it and it's simple. I used a size 3 zipper because I wanted it to be nice and chic. I used these. This is 3/4 of an inch hardware from Emmeline Bags. And I think a chain is a cute feature on this too, just to give it a little extra oomph. You have your cute hobo bag and you're ready to go. So this is a tutorial for the Tabitha. If you have any questions in regards to this bag, please make a comment down below. I know I made mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. That's the beauty of being human. It's learning how to correct them. And hopefully you've seen how I corrected some of my mistakes. This is a gorgeous bag and there's a ton you can do to it. And I can't wait to see everyone's Tabitha. Make sure you join the group, the Clutches the Couture design group from Jacqueline, because she shows sneak peeks in her group. There's like talk about like what kind of fabrics you want to use. It's just a fun group to be a part of, and you can showcase your beautiful Tabitha in it. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. If you want to learn more about different modifications, leave a comment down below. I will leave a link to the Facebook group as well as I can't talk today. The Tabitha, where you can purchase it from Clutches from Clutch and Couture Design, so that way you can make your own. Please support a small business, and I can't wait to see all of your Tabithas in the group, and I appreciate every single last one of you. So I want to say goodbye until the next time we meet. If you could like, subscribe, comment, and maybe share if you think it's worthy, you're helping your girl out, and we will really appreciate it. Well, until the next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.